So now you have the ink inside of your nozzle, and to check to see if the ink is flowing, you need to, especially when you're working with your client, you need to take a cotton round that is wet and test it. You need to, when you're barely touching the cotton round, you should see some dots of the pigment. And if you don't see anything, that means you need to adjust your needle. You need to twist this part right here and make the needle a little bit shorter, or maybe a little bit longer. Sometimes the ink flow too fast and you see a lot of droplets. That means maybe the ink is a little too thin, or you need to maybe adjust the speed to go a little bit faster, or make your needle a little bit longer. So all these things together, they play a key role. I'll show you how you're supposed to set your hand. You should hold your whole hand on your pinky. So your pinky holds your whole hand. Your hand is stabilized, your elbow is on the table. So you always have to stop and check those two things. Is your elbow stable? Is it on the table? Is your pinky stabilizing your hand? Next, what you need to do is you need to start drawing up in the air, land on the latex pad, and then go all the way up. So it's kind of a pendulum movement. I'm going to show you what that's supposed to be. What you're supposed to see here is dots. You're not supposed to see the line or anything, it's a dots. So to see that you're doing the right thing, you're supposed to have 6-7 dots. That will be one stroke. Your dots should start with smaller dots, and then they should get bigger and bigger, and then end with a tiny little dots, because of the movement, because of the way you do the movement. You start like a airplane landing on the runway. Do this, and then the airplane taking off. Landing, taking off. And it only goes into one direction, towards you, stroke towards you. So landing, taking off, like this. But now faster. And now you see the dots. If you don't see the dots, that means maybe your speed is too fast. You need to take a look at your power supply, make sure it's set at 5.4. Now I see more dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 dots. The faster the movement of your hand, the further apart you see those dots. So that's your movement. That's the stroke on latex. That's what you will need to be practicing from now on. So what I want you to do is, I want you to keep your pinky on the table. I want you to make sure that your machine is at the 90-degree angle towards your latex. That's going to be really important. That you're very stable, your hand is relaxed. You need to make sure that this hand is not locked in, it's relaxed. And then you start making these movements. 6-7 dots. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you lay these strokes tightly one next to the other, so it looks like dust. It looks like you don't know, you can't see where the strokes start and where they finish. It's a dust. And you go on for about ½ inch, like that. And then you stop. And then you scroll down, overlap what you just did by about 30 to 40%, and start doing the same thing, moving from left to right. Be nice and thorough. You don't go back and forward. You just go one direction and you lay your strokes neatly one next to the other. You don't leave any spaces. Naturally, as humans, we want to draw a little bit here and then leave some space and then go really fast, go forward and then come back and fill in something. But if you do that, if you learn and you get used to doing that, you're not going to be very successful working on the skin, because on the skin you can't see. It's not so obvious like on paper. You can't see your dots. So you need to train your hand to be thorough. And then you scroll down and you start over and you do the same thing again. And you just keep going down, overlapping the previous block of drawing. And you keep going down. And what I want you, what's the goal of this exercise? What's the goal? What's the most important thing? The most important thing is that you're able to create a flawless sheet of color that is perfectly blended together, that you can't see where your strokes started, you can't see where they finished. They're flawless. It's the same color. There is no zebra. There is no uneven T. It's all perfectly even. And I know your work might not look like this. So you keep drawing, you keep going down, and if you see that your blocks, there's separation between the blocks, that your drawing looks like zebra, that is totally normal because you're learning. I've been doing this for many years, so my hand is trained, my small motor muscles are working in a better way, so you will get to the point. This is your goal, is to get to the point where you don't see any zebra. And what can help you with that is adjusting your speed on your machine as well. So what you can do is you can go lower than 5.4, you can go 5.2, you can go even 5, and that's going to help you to delete that zebra. Also be careful, you need to make sure that your nails are short, especially on your pinky, because sometimes I've seen my students, they just can't place that pinky correctly to hold their hand because they have very long nails, so you have to be mindful of that. So let's say you go and you do a block like this for about, like, I don't know, half an inch or something, and then you want to clean this block and see what's in there. You want to see that you made that the color is in the latex, and it's also your dots looking nice, like all of the imprints are looking nice, they're in the latex, there's no uneven T, it should look like dust. So I want you to keep going down, and I want you to make 5 of these long lines all the way across the latex, from the beginning to the end. You keep making these lines until you don't make any zebra. However long you need to exercise, but there should not be uneven T. You should get to, when you practice, you make even color going down, overlapping going down, and at the same time you're not going back to fill in the gaps. It all should be coming with one pass, like I just did, one pass. So that's your exercise.